So we got to
Yeah, let
talk
me
about
play.
it. Eagles versus Commanders. I hope both teams tie. But the Eagles and Commanders play for the third time this season. Sunday matchup has a Super Bowl spot at stake. And you go from, well, you all weren't worse. It was the Giants. But this would have been one of the best, worst, the second place type of runs ever. Because if you all would have won the division, it would have been one of the best, worst, the first turnarounds in a franchise's history. So, Dave, you did the panel yesterday.
Can I go first on this one?
You want to
I'm
go
gonna
first?
put,
I only let you go
I'm,
first because I thought you wanted to be last on this one. But
no,
go
that's
ahead.
cool. I'm gonna get mine out the way. I'm gonna get
Do
mine out
your
the way.
thing, player.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be long winded. I'm not gonna be long winded. All right,
Caw.
but I'm gonna go with the Commanders. All right, like I told y'all before the show, I'm not a fan right now. I'm an analyst. All right.
That's why you got on cowboy colors.
I ain't nothing to say. But so I'm gonna go with the Commanders. Now look at this game. Obviously, you look at the black and white. You see Eagles better roster, Commanders inferior roster, right? When it comes to like names and talent and stuff like that. But the playoffs are not about who's the most talented team. It's not what the playoffs are about. The playoffs are about momentum. The playoffs are about your QB executing. Your playoffs about creating turnovers. Your playoffs about coaching staff. Your playoffs is about situational football. And I feel like the Commanders have momentum. Commanders are 7-game win streak dating back to the regular season. That means a lot. Do y'all know Tom Brady's first Super Bowl? They ended and they got into the playoffs in the winning streak, right? So, and then on top of that, we won 2 road games on the road. 2 road games. We're the only team in the playoffs this year that won a road game. All the home teams are undefeated. The road teams are defeated if you're not called the Commanders. We won both our games on the road. There's some mojo going. There's some momentum right there. And on top of that, we have the secret weapon, Jaden Daniels, who can overcome what the Eagles could bring to him. Now, the main concern, obviously, is 2-6, Saquon Barkley. The Commanders will have to contain him. Jalen Hurts right now, he has a bum knee right now. He's going to wear a knee brace. All right? They're going to force Jalen Hurts to do more. Am I saying Jalen Hurts can't do more? I'm not saying that. But they're going to test that knee. He's going to have to be the Superman Hurts this game. When I look at Saquon Barkley, I'm going to pull up these numbers, y'all. All right? Everybody going crazy about Joe Witt's comments and all that stuff. If you watch the Ford interview, they asked him, you went against a quarterback like Jared Goff, who's not mobile. Now you're going to go against a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts. What do you say about mobile quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts? And then he's basically saying, when you're a mobile quarterback, we're going to hit you like a running back. It wasn't like a direct shot like, yeah, we're going to Hurts. Hurts just happened to be the guy that's next on the schedule. And he told the truth. That's what you got to do. So, and I remember in our chats, y'all, when Frankie Louisville hit Hurts, and they were like, dirty. I'm like, bro, he a running back right now. Like, he's running the ball. He's going to get hit like one. So here's some numbers, though, on how we did against Saquon Barkley, y'all. So look, in the first game.
Why are you smiling like that?
In the first game, right? In the fourth quarter, he had 6 carries, 76 yards. But quarters 1, 2, 3, 20 carries, 70 yards. Averaging 3.5 yards per carry. Okay, cool. Game 2, though, first quarter, 7 carries, 109 yards. Quarters 2 through 4, 22 carries, 41 yards, only allowing 1.8 yards per carry. Now, a lot of people might say, you know what, Joe? It's because Kenny Pickett was the quarterback. You didn't have to worry about the rushing attack or the running threat of Jalen Hurts. I'm telling y'all, I don't think they're going to want Jalen Hurts to run the ball. They're not like they're going to test that. They're going to put all eyes on Jalen Hurts. All eyes on Jalen Hurts and explosive plays. That's all they're talking about. Eliminate explosive plays. He had a 23-yard run, 39-yard run in the fourth quarter in game 1. And in the first quarter, he had a 68-yard run. So eliminate the explosive plays. Now, them defensively. I honestly think us playing them 3 times benefits our offense. Us playing the same defense 3 times. The first time we played them, they didn't blitz a lot. They stayed home. The second time we played them, they blitzed the most they ever blitzed the whole season. So now we saw both sides of the coin. We saw them being aggressive and we saw them being conservative. And it worked better for them being conservative. So I'm going to assume that they're not going to blitz Jaden Daniels. Because in these playoffs right now, when you blitz Jaden Daniels, he lighting you up. All right. So I'm going to assume they're going to be conservative with Jaden Daniels. But here's the thing. Jaden Daniels, man, that dude is so calm, so poised, so ready for the moment. He can throw. He can make any throw. And on top of that, you have his legs. I honestly think this game is going to be how he's going to use his legs. It's going to be similar to that Falcons game. He's going to use his legs a lot this game because it's a do-or-die moment. So do-or-die moment is win or go home. So I'm going to trust my head coach, Dan Quinn, to have us ready. Nick Sirianni going to have his guys ready. And another thing about Philly, sometimes they look sloppy. And even in these playoffs against Green Bay, they look sloppy. Against the Rams, they look sloppy. Not one time we look sloppy. We look prepared for the moment every single time. If we lose, it's because you just beat us on our route. You beat us on our play. But not one time we look sloppy this whole playoff run. We haven't turned the ball over either. So didn't they. And they feast on turnovers. So I'm going to go with us, Commanders.
Take it away, Dave.
Okay. So I did some research to look at the entire history of the Eagles versus the Commanders. Now, it's the entire history. So it's a bunch of games we didn't even see. But they played 180 times throughout their history. And it's actually pretty close. The Commanders lead the series 90-85, and they had 5 ties, including 1 postseason game. And the Eagles are the ones that won that for postseason game. So technically, in the playoffs, the Eagles are 1-0 against the Commanders. I think that history is going to be made in this game.
I see where you're going with this one.
You have a quarterback, rookie, who has never been in this position because he's a rookie, of course. He got into the NFC Championship game. He beat the number 1 team in the NFC. He beat the team he lost to in week 1 in the Bucs in the very first game. And you got Jalen Hurts, a guy who went to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. And he lost his very first Super Bowl.
Emotional damage.
So there's history that's going to be made. Which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the first rookie quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl? Or will Jalen Hurts finally break the record for quarterbacks that have lost their first Super Bowl to return to the Super Bowl? Because it's been 19 quarterbacks that have the last 19 quarterbacks that have gotten to the Super Bowl have not made it back. Jalen Hurts is in prime position to make sure that happens. And Jaden Daniels is in prime position to make sure that happens. That his team gets to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1991. And it's crazy because the Bills on the other side, that's who they played in the Super Bowl in 1991 and they beat. And that's their last Super Bowl win. 34 years. Guess what? I turned 34 years old this year.
Me too. No, I'm 35. I'm old. Go ahead.
Come on, Tomo. I just left DC, and this is where DC is. They are in the NFC Championship game. The Commanders just did something that San Francisco did last year. They went into Philly and put something over Rocky. It's a lot of history that's going to be made. But the history that I think is going to be made is something that I've honestly gone against for the last few years. And I never thought that a team that a quarterback that lost would get back. But I think the Eagles get back to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be a shootout, which is crazy. But I think it's going to be a shootout because I look at that last game, and yes, I know Jalen Hurts did not play the entire game. I understand that, Eagles fans. However, that number one defense was still out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you got to make sure you get them off the field. I understand that. But you had already scored 30-something points. You were already up by touchdowns. I know. Kev, I know it's the playoffs. I don't know if you heard everything I said, but I know it's the playoffs. I think that this is going to be the best game of Saquon Barkley's playoff career. I think that's what it's going to be. Now, I do believe that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are going to make some plays. Dallas Goedert is back. He's going to be in this game. Jalen Hurts is going to be here. He's going to be wearing a brace. He announced it himself today that he more than likely will be wearing a brace, but he's available. Quinyon Mitchell also said that he's going to be available. So all their guys are pretty much going to be there. There's a key guy for Washington that's out, though.
Cosme.
And that's their offensive guard. Cosme. He's out. He's messed up his ACL. He's out for the rest of the year. You might not see him until 2026, honestly, because it's this late into the season and he tore his ACL. So we don't know when he's going to come back.
Let's go, Trent Scott.
And then you look
You're
at
an analyst, man.
And then and then you look at the other defenders that the Eagles have. You look at Jalen Carter. You look at Nolan Smith. You look at Nakobe Dean. You look at Blankenship. You look at Slay, Quinyon Mitchell. You got Cooper DeJean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. These guys just continue to make plays. Now, the Commanders' defense also makes plays for Frankie Louisville and Bobby Wagner. But Deron Payne has not practiced all week. And he's very questionable. They don't know if he's actually going to be there to play the game on Sunday. I think the healthier team is going to win, which is the Eagles. And I think the team that's just been in this business before is going to win. This, honestly, when it comes to NFC Championship game, more times than not, the team that has been here before more than likely wins the game. And I think that's what happens now. Now, I won't be surprised if the Commanders win this game. But I just think Philly is really focused right now. You know, they had a chance to get the record. They didn't go after it. They said that they're focused on getting to the Super Bowl. This is your opportunity. I think the Eagles make it. And we have a rematch from the Super Bowl from 2 seasons ago.
Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing, you know, about when you don't have to do shows like this is if you was sitting back and I was at home, I wouldn't even have to make a pick. I wouldn't even care. I probably wouldn't even watch. But shout out to Joe for dragging me back. You know, I'm not even mad. He dragged me back into a bad Cowboy season. He dragged me back into seeing his team make it to the conference championship. This is crazy. Oh man, I sat up here and I was going back and forth. I was like, either way, somebody has to win this game. The last time these two teams played, I watched the panel yesterday and everyone kept saying, we're not talking about the last game. We're not going to keep talking about the last game. Why y'all keep bringing up the last game? Because that's the last time we seen you two face off. That's the last time we seen your number one defense force 5 turnovers total in that game. That's the last time. Hold on. Yeah. That's the last time I watched your offense. Granted, Jalen Hurts went out early in the game, but I watched your offense control and maintain the time of possession within that game. And you all still found a way to come up on the losing side of that. It's just something about that kid. Like Joe said earlier, I don't know what type of magic potion is going on at Northwest Credit Union Stadium, but whatever Magic Johnson been saying to the people before the game, I don't know what's going on out there, but these folks are finding ways to win. You talking about a team who had the ball 40, I'm rounding up, but they had it 40 minutes to you all's 24 minutes in a football game, and they was leading the game, and they lost. Like that, you tell somebody from another country what just happened there, like, how did they lose? Just tell them those stats right there. They're like, how did they lose? But again, context goes into everything. Saquon Barkley is going to be a difference maker in this game.
Mm.
Louvu is going to be a difference maker in this game as well. Everyone's talking about the X factors. Of course, you want to bring up like the key names like Jalen Carter. But the X factor for me on the Eagles side of the football is going to be CJ because he did get kicked out of that game. However, he is that motivating factor. Like when he makes plays, even though sometimes he doesn't catch the pick, but the fact that it was almost a pick, now the secondary is lit up. Darius Slay is going to need that because, again, Quinyon Mitchell is coming off of an injury. But on the flip side of it, you talking about a team of castaways, but one of them's been in the Super Bowl. I think, how many other ex-Super Bowl players y'all got over there outside of Bobby Wagner?
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz. Oh,
and,
yeah.
And Andrew Wiley. And Gangretti. Keep thinking his name. Sorry. Yeah, we got some Super Bowl champions over there.
Okay. You was an analyst. Now you use some we. It was a lot of we's in your soliloquy too, but it's okay, man. It's your moment, man. But if you ask me who's going to win this game, if I had to close my eyes and pick them, if it wasn't for Mark, man, I'd say y'all shocked the world, Joe. If it wasn't for Mark and that nonsense he did from week 6, if you would have left me alone, I think y'all win it. Like, it don't shock me if y'all do win it, but I think the Eagles are going to find a way to make something shake. I'm with Dave, though, as far as it coming down to it. I think this game is going to be like what we seen with Mahomes and Josh Allen, not in the version of a shootout. Whoever has the ball last to drive down the field is going to win the game. I'm picking the Eagles, but whoever has the ball last to drive down that field is going to win the game. It's been that way all season with this kid. Joe, you said it about the Lions game. He's like, it's going to come a time in the game where we may be up by some points, but he's going to throw a deep pass and we're going to go close it out. And that's just what he did in the Lions game. That pass to De'Ami Brown, when the Lions thought they had a shot to come back, that deep pass, that killed the morale right there. It's like, ain't nothing else we could do with him. So, whoever got the ball last, man. If you tell me Jaden Daniels he had 12 attempts at rushing, maybe like 50 yards, I tell you the Commanders probably won this game. If you tell me Saquon Barkley got over 140 rushing yards, I tell you the Eagles won this game. If you tell me A.J. Brown had over 40 receiving yards, I tell you the Eagles won this game. So it's going to be a tough one. And it's at the length. And I want to read one more thing for you, Joe, because I seen this in my group chat. Okay. I don't know if you posted it, Dave, but it was on Twitter. The link will be filled with Commanders fans for the NFC Championship game. Okay. 21% of the purchases come from the state of Maryland and Virginia.
Yup.
Y'all gonna be in there brawling.
Hey, look, I saw a stat. Somebody posted from Philly Nation and said, "Oh, the ticket prices, man, Philly fans are so good." I replied and said, "Philly fans, you think the prices up because y'all Philly? Did you see the Lions ticket prices?" I'm like, bro. We bringing the flash. Well, sorry, the Commanders are bringing the flash. They got a guy that everybody wants to see, but man, the Commanders gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready.
I don't think y'all want to play.
They're gonna be ready.
One thing that I think we all can agree with is that Jaden Daniels is not gonna be shaken up in this game. He's not gonna be shook.
You know, nobody's bringing that up, right?
He's ready.
Not even a thought.
He's cool, calm, and collected. And he has when LSU presented to him the VR situations for him to be able to play this, it made the game so much easier for him. And it looks that way at times. It just looks like
He said it's like real life, and he does it almost every morning.
He does it every single morning, and it makes things so much easier for him, and that's a huge advantage he has. I'm not sure who else in the league is doing it, but I think that's something that quarterbacks might need to start,
especially ones that throw picks.
Yeah, so basically, I think how it works is like you can basically get the play call, like it's like real time. You get the play call, you got to run the play. And like basically run a offense on this VR system, and you can't get hurt. There's no injuries involved. You know what I mean? Like you can do it for hours, for real.
And that's
what surprised when people don't do it. But it costs bread though.
It does.
But
It
these
does
are
cost
big
money.
organizations, though.
But teams got money.
Yeah, fact. I don't know why teams don't do this. I don't know.
I don't know why.
They mentioned this like when we first got him after the Bengals game, and
Yes.
everybody was talking about it.
Yep.
And I'm like, nobody else gonna do it.
And I don't see anyone else that's done it. But I think that's going to be implemented soon. I think because of the success of this season of how he's played, more quarterbacks are going to do it. Brock Purdy, I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening, Brock Purdy. Make sure you pick up that VR. Look, San Francisco.
He made it.
Make something happen. This
I'm
needs
ready,
to
man.
be.
I
This
can't
needs
wait
to
till
happen for
Sunday.
everybody. But I think this Sunday is going to be awesome for both games. But I have more anticipation for the Commanders and Eagles game. I think that's going to be the most electric game this weekend.
All fingers pointing Eagles. The Rocky junk got dressed up. Eagles had a better team.
Like I told them,
no rookie never went to the Super Bowl like this.
We did the same thing last year. I understand that it wasn't a playoff game, but do y'all agree that was a playoff environment game when we went into the link last year after we got trounced by them in the NFC Championship game, and we went and took over and blew them out at home?
He's being disrespectful, Dave, because didn't Brock Purdy get hurt in that playoff game?
Exactly. He got hurt in that playoff game.
I'm not going to lie. I want to throw away the idea of it's Eagles fans that's dressing this dude up. like buying the gear and dressing this dude up just to keep the.
I know the guy in San Francisco that did it. I follow him on Instagram. He admitted to doing it. And he even has a video of him actually putting it on there. So I know it's actually fans actually going to go do it. So
I'm gonna tell you one more thing though, Joe. Like if I'm you and I'm playing the Eagles and I'm Jaden Daniels, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I wouldn't be nervous or anything about playing them. Now, if it just so happened that y'all was playing, Zimmer and the Cowboys, I'd be a little shaken up. Now, I'm just saying, because they don't play like yourself when that star out there. That's all I'm saying. We the only team that's had them looking a little razzled, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Eagles, it's the third time we about to see them. I think that's good for a rookie. It's good for a rookie. Seen the same team 3 times.
I wonder how Mark's statement gonna stand though, because he said anything y'all played twice, y'all haven't lost to. About 3 times though. Like that's gonna be tough.
Man, I can't wait. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be
your
very
guard out. Your guard out. Your guard out, Jalen Carter.
Oh yeah, he out. Yeah, he out. It is what it is.
Blaze, we only had 2 quarterbacks that game. Which mean the other backup. We had 2 quarterbacks that game.
They the reason
Ron Purdy and Josh
Johnson.
That's it. That's all we had.
And Christian McCaffrey,
Jimmy Garoppolo, and Trey Lance were already hurt. They were already not going to be able to play in that game.
Don't forget Christian McCaffrey.
He was still in the game. He didn't get hurt. He played the entire game.
No, he's talking about
when he started warming up as a quarterback, I say, yo.
It got so bad, Brock Purdy had to come back just to hand the ball off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why we got the rule about the emergency quarterbacks now, because of that game. It's gonna be good.
Philly fans, they so confident, bro. Like my thing is, all right, we're gonna be here all day. Let's keep moving. I do last words.
Yeah, let's get to the last words, man. Sunday.
My last